Also, the hangover, the Super Bowl hangover, a very young team. We saw this in the past when teams lose, how they handle adversity and coming back. And the Falcons are a young team. As a GM, how do you prevent the hangover for the team that loses the Super Bowl the following year?
Well, I think the first thing you do if you're Thomas Dimitroff, and I think Dan Quinn sadly has been through this before 2 years ago as the defensive coordinator, you got to keep your head up.
Yes.
You got to walk around and you got to keep people busy. Because you could sit back and feel sorry for yourself because it's tough. There's no debate about it. But I think what you got to do is, hey, coaches, here are the guys you need to start watching for the draft. Hey, scouts, we need to have our unrestricted free agent meetings. And you got to walk around the hall with an open door and a head up and just understanding that, hey, I got to start looking forward instead of the rearview mirror, because that is, I'm sure, a very difficult spot to be in.
Yeah, framework's going to be huge here, too, from a player perspective.
Yeah.
Guys understanding we had this, man. I mean, listen, these guys coming back in this room, we had this.
You went through it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So what is that challenge?
Yeah, you got to sit down and tell the guys. I mean, with the Saints, we had a 10-point, we had a 10-point lead. We lost it. But going back, we still got the same guys. We still have the ability to get back. It's how you look at this thing, how you attack this thing is so important. You can't let this thing snowball and make you get you in a funk where you can't get out of it. You have to understand, we had it. We didn't execute when it mattered most. What can we learn from it? But having that perspective as far instead of, man, that was really a bummer. Right. Like, it's over, right? It's Hayes in the barn, man. You got to go make something else happen.
When you lose the Super Bowl, regardless if you had the lead or didn't have the lead, it's devastating.
Yes.
It is a.
You went through the same thing, Super Bowl 15.
It's a punch to your gut, and getting over it, I think Coach Quinn's going to have to remind these guys of this. Don't think it's a given that we can get back. Because if you look at this division, everyone has participated in the Super Bowl. You look at what happened to the Saints when they won a Super Bowl. Look at the team they've had the last 3 or 4 years since that time. You look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. People forgot they were in the Super Bowl. Look what has happened to them. They've had 2 or 3 coaches since that time. You look at Carolina. They were a 15-1 football team. Now, all of a sudden, this year, it was like, what team is this we're watching? So if you have anything as a coach, you use that as an example of guys. We don't want to fall into this trap.
What about, quickly, I mean, you've won a Super Bowl, Jeff. What about the hangover for a team in New England? The challenge of trying to repeat there. They're not as young. That also cuts both ways, right? They're another year older next year.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. The thing about Belichick, he knows certain players aren't going to come back, and that's the kind of the system he's in. He's not going to pay them. They're going to move on. The Tom Brady-driven football team, that's what it's about. He's going to come back in just as hungry, just as driven, just as determined. It's that type of leadership that they have in that locker room that continues to breed this success. It's Belichick, give him a ton of credit because he's fantastic at it. He also gets players that fit his system. Nothing's going to be revamped, same coordinators. I mean, it's just so consistent in what they do. But Tom Brady, his leadership, he's there working out. He expects he's going to be there. He expects everybody else to be a part of it. That breeds success.
Brady will be 40 years old. Belichick will be 65 years old next season, and they will be the reigning Super Bowl champs. Herman, we appreciate it, I guess, with the anti-bird stuff.
I'm just
Mark,
saying,
we appreciate it, Jeff.